Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Brain Cancer Diaries. This episode's guest hails from Toronto, Canada. His name's Douglas MacRae. Really interesting guy, talented artist, daredevil, motorcycle racer, with a really dire diagnosis, but that hasn't stopped him or his attitude. I think you'll find this episode really interesting. See you on the other side of the bzzz. Hey guys, my name is Rudy. I'm a brain cancer endurer, survivor, whatever you want to say. Anyway, and this is Brain Cancer Diaries. And this is about my journey to recovery, finding deeper meaning in life, and so forth and so on. I talked to some people about their experience, and I've learned a lot along the way. I hope you learned some things too. Some of it's serious, some of it's fun. Hopefully it's always interesting.
Please hang up and try again.
When I was younger, I was in some ways not very responsible with my money, and that I should have saved all my money and traveled the world, and I raced motorcycles and, went and did all kinds of racing and all kinds of traveling. And now I look back at that, seeing that, I did exactly what I should have been doing. You know what I mean? I should have been traveling, I should have been racing. And in fact, I think now maybe I should have raced more, or I should have traveled even more. I feel like I, did a lot of pretty interesting stuff, went a lot of pretty interesting places. And, I have this problem now, but I'm just going to have to suck it up and try and go through it. What actually happened was, it was a big snowstorm. I remember it quite well. I was outside in the snowstorm, getting in my truck, and I went to slam the door, and this wind was blowing in my eyes, and I kind of slammed the door like this, and I clipped myself in the forehead with the door a little bit. So I gave myself a little goose egg in my forehead. I thought, I can't clip myself there. I wasn't paying attention. And then the next morning I woke up, and I couldn't see properly. My vision was all fractured out of the one side. My peripheral vision was all messed up on the left side. So I thought, okay, I must have, because I've had a few concussions racing and martial arts. I've been certainly hit in the head, more than once. So I thought, okay, I must have reactivated one of my old concussions from racing. So I went to my family doctor, and this is what he thought as well. He thought this was just a concussion thing, so he just sent me home. But then I started getting headaches, and the headaches went on for about 10 days, and the headache just wouldn't go away. And then I was out walking the dog, and there's a little culvert that kind of cuts under there, under this big berm. We kind of come up on the other side of this path. So it was real icy out. So I'm walking down this slippery, icy slope to get down to this culvert, and I slipped and landed right flat on my back and kind of really jarred my body pretty good. And I went to stand up, and I couldn't stand. So finally I just got into a cab and went down to the emergency room and just checked myself in. And I said to the doctor, I said, listen, I've had concussions, this is something else, something's going on. So he said, okay, let's do a CAT scan. So they did a CAT scan, and he came back in like 10 minutes after the CAT scan. He said, I'm very sorry, Mr. MacRae, but there's a large mass on the right rear part of your brain. So they immediately set me in for an MRI, and the next day, a team of 3 neurosurgeons has cut the back of my skull off and is taking this tumor off the back of my brain. So they carved off what they could of this tumor. So yeah, as soon as they realized what it was, 24 hours they were in there.
Say it again, Doug?
I'm still here. What are you going to do?
They lay it right off for you right off the beginning. They're like, listen, this is what you got, and you have, 14 to 24 months, and that's it, and that was like 4 months ago, so I guess I have less than that now. But unfortunately, I've the tumor had already eaten into the visual center of my brain on this side, and now your right rear part of your brain is where your left side peripheral vision works from. So basically that part of my brain is gone now, so the tumor ate into it. So I lost this left side vision. So I don't have, if I hold my hand here and look straight ahead, I can't see this hand right now. Fortunately, they revoked my driver's license, which is a real pain in the ass. I can't argue with them because I really can't see properly on this side. I mean, the way I look at it is actually, not being able to drive is kind of annoying, but in comparison to the other issues that are going on with the brain cancer, not being able to drive seems like a pretty trivial thing. So take a cab and don't complain. I'm trying to do a show in October. I'm trying to arrange a show, so we're trying to work on that. This may seem trivial, but I'm trying to build myself a new garage, which is a big pain for me right now. I want to knock my garage down because I have a house and we have a separate garage, and the garage is a bit of a dump, and I want to make it into a little studio so I can work. I want to sit there and, fiddle around with my art and play with my motorcycles, in my declining months. And I'm trying to, I did drawings and all this kind of stuff for it, and I made some of the arrangements, and I'm just waiting for a permit to come through so I can knock it down and build a new garage so I can make myself a little studio. You got to plan like you're going to be around for 5 years. Even though you only have a 4% chance of making it to 5 years, you still got to have a 5-year plan. I want a new garage. That's part of my 5-year plan, so I'm trying to make that happen. I'm working on my... I edit pictures every day on the computer and stuff. So, and now in beginning of July, I'm going to Tanzania to do some more another photography trip. We spent a little bit extra money. I'm gonna fly business class so I can actually lie down, so I don't need to be, sitting in a flight for 12 hours. You're more likely to have a seizure or something like that if you're tired. I mean, if you got problems like this. You want to be comfortable. You don't want to be stressed. I even had an option early on to do an experimental drug, but this is when they were just about to do the radiation and the chemo, and they offered me this other experimental drug. The side effects was that it would give you hallucinations, but it meant more visits to the hospital, it meant more tests, more drugs, more side effects. I just decided, you know what? And I said, what's the best benefit that's going to happen if this is the most optimistic with this experimental drug? He said, the most optimistic, you would have a couple of months longer. So it's a little bit like, I mean, to me, I was always going to die, My grandma died, you know what I mean? Everyone's going to die. I'm going to die. Last month I was going to die. And then this month, I'm still going to die. It's just they've shuffled the dates around a little bit, you know what I mean? But that's the nature of life. And, you still got to get out of bed and put your pants on and brush your teeth and all that kind of stuff. And, you got to mow your lawn and just go on with life. Things can change. New drugs can come along. And you got to be optimistic that, something good's going to happen. And if something good doesn't happen, then if it's your time, then maybe it's your time. That's life, you know what I mean? Everybody dies. But there's no point to be all sad and melancholic and depressed and drinking or something stupid like that. Life is too precious to be in a headspace like that and being like that. You know what I mean? But, it is what it is. You got to just keep on trucking, so...